Hi guys, welcome. Today I want to talk about how I got into this hole of stress and anxiety and feeling like crap, and how I helped myself dig myself out of that hole and get out of it. And this literally happened yesterday, so things are fresh. So I just want to talk about it, and hopefully some of the things that I did might help you. So first off, I'm a relatively busy person, like everybody else on the planet. I am usually pretty good at handling the busyness. Like, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. Just because I usually have to take a step back and just say, hey, just take a day at a time. You can do hard things. Yeah, this is, difficult and it kind of sucks sometimes, but you actually like what you're doing, so you can get through this. But every once in a while, I'll have these really busy times, and then I'll have like drama happen. And that emotional drama is what kind of makes my shaky house of cards totally fall and is destroyed. And I fall into a hole, and I think about how big of a failure I am and how I shouldn't be this busy and I shouldn't do all these things even though I enjoy them, because obviously I can't. I'm, failing at this and I made a mistake and da 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 da. Anyway, so this is what happened to me yesterday. I was in this hole deep and I just kept digging. I listened to the inner demon, Satan, and he was telling me, all these things, how I am a huge failure. Needless to say, I was stressed, anxious, completely overwhelmed. And I obviously didn't like that feeling. I didn't want to stay feeling that way. And so these are the 10 things that I did yesterday to kind of help recenter myself. Help me realize that life is good and I am good. So the first thing I did, I talked to my champion. I called my husband up and I, needed to talk with him. My husband is a huge champion for me. He knows how to help me climb out of a hole. There are some people who kind of jump in the hole with us and just keep digging with us. When you just keep talking bad about other people, ignoring your mistakes, ignoring, even just ignoring the good things about you. They just kind of, maybe talk bad about everybody else. There are relationships where sometimes I am the digger. But I try most of the time to be a champion. Let's get you out of this hole. Let's, focus on, feeling better rather than just staying in this low, crappy feeling place. Anyway, so I called my champion. My champion pretty much told me everything that I tell all of the kids that I talk to. And it was just and it wasn't about being condescending, about like, come on, you know this, Lindsey. It was just like, we got this. You got this. Let's rethink this, changing our mindset. All right, so that's the first thing that I suggest you do. Find your champion. Find someone who can boost you up, who can give you a hand out of the hole, rather than you pulling them down and say, let's dig this together. The second thing I did, I cried. I let it out, because crying is not bad. Granted, I wasn't in front of 20, 50 people just like blubbering or whatever, even though that's still okay if that's for you, but I'm not a, public crier. But I did cry. I allowed myself to feel everything because it's good. If I just try to choke it down and ignore it, then things bubble up and then I'll explode on someone else later. All right, so I got off the phone with my champion. I had already started crying a little bit, but I just kind of let it flow. I let it happen. And it was good. There was a time where I was like, crap, I have to go talk to someone. I need to stop crying because that's just me. So I did it for a minute. But then when I was done, I just kind of let it fall again. So that's the second thing. Let yourself feel. It's okay to cry. It's okay to go punch a pillow and be angry and upset and just disappointed even. All right, so let yourself feel. The third thing I did, I attempted to fix my mistake. This whole drama that happened, it was my fault. I forgot something important and I messed up. And again, I talked to my champion, like, I know I need to apologize, but I don't really know how to do that, so you kind of talk through it, see what would work. And I apologized. Still not really sure how the apology went, but I did it. Yes, it was scary, but it was worth it. Making amends, helps the other people feel better, and it helps you feel better. It lets you get over the hump so you don't overthink things like, oh, what could I have done? How can I go back in time and change it completely? Because that actually doesn't work. So you apologize. All right, the fourth thing I did, again, my champion helped me realize this, helped me understand this. I stopped making up a story in my head of what other people were doing and saying about me. Like, I knew I made a mistake. I knew it. But I also knew, oh, they just hate me for it. They're going to say this about me, do this and this and this. I was making up a story. Maybe some of it could have been true, but I don't know for sure, nor does it help me. So I had to stop making up that story. Stop assuming that people think I'm the worst person ever. Stop assuming they're doing this and saying this about me. All right? You just stop it. Because it's not helpful. It doesn't actually fix the situation. The fifth thing I did, which kind of plays off number 4, stop creating this story in your head, is the fact that you can't control others. I apologized, and that's all that I can do. If they don't want to accept that apology, that's fine. I did my part. And maybe you're in a situation where you didn't actually do anything wrong. You don't actually apologize for anything. You still can't control other people. You still can't say, oh, I wish they would apologize to me. You just can't keep overthinking that. Okay, so if you keep worrying about, I wish they would do this. I hope that this happens. I wish they would stop thinking about being this way or whatever. You just have to stop those thoughts. Okay, because it's not helpful. It doesn't fix anything. It doesn't help you feel better. All right, all it does is keep you digging that hole. And so, the hole keeps getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're just like, oh shoot, I'm too low now. I guess I'll just stay here. The sixth thing that I did, I had to remind myself that I'm awesome. Do I make mistakes? Clearly. But it doesn't mean that I should quit or rethink my entire life because I made one mistake. I do great things. I'm an awesome person and I can do hard things. All right? I had to remind myself of all my affirmations, of all the good things. And it's not being prideful or boastful or, too confident, overconfident, or whatever. It's being confident. It's reminding myself that I am a good person because we're all good people. We just make mistakes. That one mistake doesn't define us. That one mistake doesn't negate all the good things that we've ever done. So you have to remind yourself, because who else is going to? All right, the seventh thing that I did, this is a long list, but it's what I did. I focused on others. I have a great job that this is really easy for me to do. I know that I was overwhelmed, had anxiety and stress and all that jazz, but I was able to say, okay, yeah, I'm feeling that way, but I'm going to focus on others instead. I'm going to create a teaching opportunity instead. All right, so you may not have that, lucky job that I do, and it's not, just naturally going to happen for you. So you're gonna have to search for people that you can just focus on. How can I help my siblings today? How can I help my parents today? How can I help my children, the friends, teachers, leaders? Okay, how can you help somebody else? It helps your mind shut off from all the negativity, from all the digging that you're doing when you focus on somebody else, when you're teaching somebody else. All right, number 8, I exercised. I moved my body. I was able to have endorphins kind of flood me and make me a little silly, make me a little happy. All right, it wasn't a marathon run. It wasn't like the hardest cardio ever. It was just a little bit of a workout. Again, I have a job that's really lucky, it's built into it, but I took advantage of it and I did it. I danced around. Take advantage of your chemistry, of your hormones. Let exercise help you feel better. Number 9, I did productive things. When I get overwhelmed or whatever, I get tired. That's what my body does. Your body may do something different. However, at that time of day, I couldn't take a nap. It just wasn't possible. There was a few moments where I didn't have anything to do and I just kind of sat there. And it didn't help me fully get out of the hole that I was in. I was doing some really good work about getting out of that hole, but the minute I just sat and was like bored, because I couldn't sleep, I couldn't actually rest, I had nothing to do, that was when I kind of went back in my hole again and started overthinking. And then again, had to redo all of those steps, had to tell myself, I am awesome. I can do hard things. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I apologized. I can't control what they think. It was like I had to go through all the steps again because I allowed myself to sit in it again. I allowed myself to sit in the hole of despair. And Satan, the inner demon, got to me again. All right, so instead of sitting there being bored later on that day, I was like, okay, I gotta be productive for a minute, even though all I wanna do is sleep. So I did some laundry instead. It wasn't a lot, it wasn't a marathon laundry time. It was just like, oh, this is done. I guess I'll do this instead of sitting and wallowing. The last thing I did, number 10, again, this is a long list. I rested. It was the time of night where I could rest and continue to rest throughout the night. So I let myself just kind of decompress. I watched a show, just one show that I wanted to watch. And instead of letting my mind say, oh, tomorrow's going to be bad too, I forced myself to think tomorrow's going to be better. I'm going to feel better. I did everything I could today. And that was enough. And tomorrow I'm going to feel rested and have a better day. And that was a life lesson with Lindsey. So next time, guys, you feel anxious or stressed or totally overwhelmed, come back to this video, try a couple of these steps and see what works for you. Peace out. Bye.